Hey, what's good? What's good? I'm Cool Blue. This is
Lady Blue.
And this is another episode of BluTalk, episode 2 for season 2. And tonight's topic is suffering in silence. I know a lot of people are kind of dealing with some things during the pandemic, and this is something that me and my wife had kind of spoke about off camera, and we kind of decided that we wanted to touch on it because a lot of people are dealing with it, but a lot of people aren't talking about it. So I'm going to swing this over to my wife, and then we're going to swing back and forth and make it do what it do. You have the floor.
So when we're talking about suffering in silence, it's basically not asking for what you need and or deserve, and what is stopping you from that. So we were kind of talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and we just know a couple of family friends who were kind of like, yeah, I do need this, but I'm not going to ask for it, or yeah, I got this amount, so that should hold me over, instead of going for the full gusto. So we started thinking, like, what is it is stopping people from asking for what they really want and what they really need or deserve? Yeah. So one of the first things that I thought about when it came to this, besides pride, we'll get to that, but number one thing for me is fear. I feel like people hold a lot of fear in rejection. They hold a lot of fear in the unknown, and just, you know, it's scary stepping out of your comfort zone and trusting someone. So
yeah, fear keeps most people from achieving a lot. You know, like you'll stop and you'll say to yourself, I'm deserving of this, but I'm not necessarily deserving of that. And it's like you create your own cutoff point. And if you delve outside of that, it's almost like a thing of like, whoa, like I'm stepping into unfamiliar territory. When life in general is unfamiliar territory, unless you get comfortable in it and understand it for what it is. Because it's like that, and people are afraid of making mistakes.
yeah.
So that kind of ties into it too.
Yeah, I feel like people look at failure as the end all be all instead of a lesson or a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And honestly enough, I can tell you from experience, since we see to take some of these leaps and stuff.
yeah.
So it's like, it's not like us talking at you. Like, this is stuff that we go through ourselves too. So one of the things I realized is that with fear is not a constant thing unless you allow it. So you feel it, you go through it, and then you move past it. And I think that's one of the things people forget is the moving past the fear.
Yeah. I'm about to say, like, that's one of the bigger issues too. Like you said, moving past the fear. It's like people let the fear consume them, and then they just kind of stay in that place. They stay stagnant, and they don't move away from it. It's like you can have a million people cheering you on, and you'll kind of sort of dip your pinky toe, and it's like, it's unfamiliar territory. So you automatically just go back to what you know. And then it's like, I can't wait for that one day that I'm able to do this, or I'm able to do that, and I'm able to move out of this. And then it's like, that one day never comes because you never apply pressure. You don't make application towards. You just sit back and say, I hope for this, I hope for this, I hope for that. I mean, imagine if we'd have never started BluTalk. We talked about it for the first couple of years, but it's like, all right, we're going to start it when we get this dollar amount. We're going to start it when we get these type of endorsements. We're going to start it when we get this, and this. We just started doing it. We was like, all right, cool, we're going to shoot this out of the car. Voila, what we doing now?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just but.
And before we move to the next topic of, other reasons, I will say I got this tattoo done on me years ago, and it's 6 simple words. Take every chance, drop every fear. And that's hard to remember, to just drop the fear. Like, because I'm telling you, when I dive into something, I dive in foot first, not even head first. I don't always do all the research or nothing like that. I just learned it's I'm not advising people to do that, but that's one of the ways to eliminate fear, is just start it and then just figure it out as you go.
Right.
Now, some stuff legal-wise, you got to figure that out beforehand, but,
Right. What we got next?
Oh, so the next part of this is people genuinely feeling like they don't deserve it. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but sometimes people feel like they don't deserve the help, they don't deserve the accolades, they don't deserve the praise. Sometimes I don't even think they feel like they deserve where they are in life.
Yeah. I'm about to say, a lot of people deal with survivor's remorse. Or it's like they feel as though like, I was the one that made it out. Why was I the one that made it out? Why was I the one that was fortunate enough to get this job? Why was I the one that was fortunate enough to get this car or this home or whatever the case may be? And they start backpedaling for like no reason. And it's like, why? Why shoot yourself in the foot because God decided to bless you? You know, like you've been putting in the work, you know, you've been grinding. And then once you finally get what you're supposed to get or the things that you've been striving to get, now all of a sudden you look around and it's like, I have too much of. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's crazy to me. I mean, like to me, like I said, because it's like, you know, like if you're at peace with what you, with where you want to be in life, I'm not saying that you can't, you know, whatever. But if you're one of those people who want more and you're looking for more and you finally get more and then you're, you know, and you dismantle. It's crazy that, you know.
You telling God, the universe, whoever you believe in, that you don't deserve it. And that's not right.
Exactly.
And a lot of times I think we forget, because Cool Blue says this all the time, we forget how powerful the tongue is. Like the tongue has power. So if you're speaking this over your life, you're like, I don't know why they do this, or I don't know why they do that. Because that's my favorite phrase, I don't know. You know, sometimes that will hinder you from actually getting what you need and you deserve. So
Exactly. Or like you constantly saying to yourself like affirmations. You have just as well as you have positive affirmations, you have negative affirmations, and people forget that. Mm-hmm. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't get this job, I can't get this job, I can't get this car, I can't get this home. Repetition is they say repetition is the key to success. It's also the key to failure. Mm-hmm. It's like what you allow yourself to become is what you'll allow yourself to become, and it's like it's a tough pill to swallow, but you know.
And another thing I will say, if you find yourself at this point, like I definitely suggest like confidence coaching and like Cool Blue said, like really like getting into affirmations. Like I know I say this all the time and whatever else, but write out how you feel. Legit, like when I first started on rebuilding my confidence or making sure I was true in what I spoke about, how I felt about myself, you can ask him. I started out on the bathroom mirror with lipstick writing, I am enough. And I left that up there for 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
3 or 4 months, and then I took it to a full-scale tall mirror and just wrote everything that I want to be. And it will happen. It may not happen when I want it to happen, but it will happen.
The thing about it is we switched the poster boards. Like we upgrade the poster board every year. So it's like we started this back in 2017?
Yeah.
We started back in 2017 and we just chop off the list as we go. And it's like certain goals we don't meet. It's certain goals that we want to meet, certain things that we kind of strive towards, and things that we kind of, you know, we hit out the park. And there's things that we just got to go back to the table and, you know, re-strategize. But, you know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. And everything happens in God's time. At least I believe so.
Yeah. I was about to say, shoot, Morgan Freeman been old for forever, and it seemed like he just started acting 20 minutes ago. So you never know. The last thing for this is that we're going to talk about is pride, because it's the easy answer, it's the simple answer, and it's the one that you can shake off the easiest. Well, I won't say can. Because I was going to say, I'm a prideful individual, and I don't know what shake it off. I'm not going to lie to you. Y'all didn't come here for me to lie to you.
Right.
But, pride, I put that last because it's an obvious answer. And, you know, I think especially those of us who are people of color, because I find that in a theme with many cultures with people of color is that pride is their number one thing. Like my grandfather or my grandmother was prideful, and they had pride in this and they had pride in that. And it's great to be prideful, but when God, the universe, life gives you an opportunity to ask and save for what you need or want, I think that's the time to drop pride to the side and really ask.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know a handful of people who are like, I don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like they could be at the lowest of the low. They're not gonna tell you nothing. They're not gonna say nothing. You could ask them every single day. You need something? good? You straight? Can I help? Nah, I'm good. You not good. You just told me an entire story about what happened with blah, 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 blah. Like, you're not good. Like, and that's the thing. Stop saying that you're good when you're not good. Like, that is another thing that, like, people, it's almost like when somebody asks you, like, how are you? And then it's like, you tell them how you're doing, and it's like, oh, well, they actually told me how they were doing. Because you asked.
Like, that's the combo.
That's the combo. And it's like, when you tell, and that applies for that as well. But, you know, like, a lot of times you tell people, oh, yeah, I'm straight. I'm good. Your car broke down, bust a tire. You might have just got into an argument with your wife or husband, you know, whoever. And it's like, I'm straight. I'm good.
And for the person on the other end of that convo, if you don't care, don't ask. Just
exactly.
Like, just keep it.
Exactly, Mundo. I mean, that's just, you know, plain Jane, but, you know, whatever.
And another thing I want to say is that, like, what Cool Blue brought up, where he said, like, oh, people would be like, oh, I don't ask for nothing, blah, blah, blah. I just learned this year that is a trauma response, and you're not supposed to be like that. That is a trauma response, and that means you don't trust nobody.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. You know, they say the fact that you're not trusting anybody. You know, like, there's a lot of people who want to try to jerk you away in your lifetime. It's the way of the world. I'm sorry, truth hurts, but you know, like, you gotta take it in stride. You know, like, you can't look and say, oh yeah, 3 people jerked me over, so everybody I come across now will confide to is gonna jerk me over. That's not the case.
And trust your gut, because I'm telling you, when my gut be like, no, don't like that person, I don't care if it takes 10 years later, I still don't like you because my gut said not to like you when we first met. It might take you 10 years to prove why I don't like you, but I know why I don't like you. Mm-hmm. So trust your gut.
Me, on the other hand, I'm not, because it's like, that takes way too much time and energy. Just, you know, like I said, but everybody kind of moves at their own clip. Learning curve. You learn at different paces. And that's another thing where it's like allowing yourself to learn from your mistakes. A lot of times people take the learning curve, but it's like, I did this. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I fell for that. And it's like you take 10 years and you beat yourself over the head about something that happened when you were in high school, in college. You know what I mean? And it's like you still holding on to it. For what? It ain't doing you no good.
Exactly. So we're going to use that to go into what are some ways to combat it, and or to combat that thinking. And we hit on a lot of these points already, so this is going to be quick, and we won't talk y'all head off. So one of the top things I put, sorry, my notes are down here, is to surround yourself with people you trust, so you can ask for help surround yourself with people that you trust. So that when you ask for help, you know, it really hits with that person. Because I think a lot of times we surround ourselves with people who we know aren't good for certain things in our lives, or they're good for one aspect of our life, and we're trying to transfer them over to another place. And some people are not universal like that. Or
everything, you know, like you wanna have them a part of every, you know, like people around for chapters of your life, and it's like you try to drag them into that next chapter of your life, and they clung, kicking and screaming, telling you that they don't want to go, but you like, no, you was around for the struggle, and you was around for this, and you was around for that. I know you were around for that one. Might not be the case, and it's a tough pill to swallow.
That's not their journey. Again, stuff we all learning right now.
Yeah, we learn, like I said, we learn as we go. It's not like I'm sitting back with a how-to manual telling you like, oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. We learning as we go.
Exactly. Another point I wanted to touch on that Cool Blue already discussed anyway is affirmation. So basically, this came into my mind as soon as I thought about it, and I think this is from like elementary school where it's like, speak it, believe it, achieve it. And I know we have all had stuff from middle school, elementary school where we're like, God, why do they keep saying this?
Some of your best lessons come from elementary school. I'm like some of the stuff that like when I teach something, you could be all that you want. You could be anything you want to be. I took that and ran ran. I'm about to say, you can't tell me I can't be nothing because my second grade teacher told me I could be anything I want to be, and I still believe that.
Yeah. Because I remember, man, it was a poem we used to recite every morning in my elementary school where it was like, I love myself. It was like, I love myself just the way I am. And they'd make us stomp it out and say it. It was like, every now and again I find myself like, I love myself just the way I am. So you just, honestly enough, like, I know some stuff you like, God, I don't want to hear this no more. I feel like I learned this lesson already. But in a sense, like, some stuff you have to recharge and redo over.
Yeah.
Even like with the affirmations and things like that, with me, I've been noticing a couple of weeks or so, I've kind of been slacking off, not necessarily lacking in my self-confidence, but finding myself reverting back in some old habits in ways that I don't like. So it's like, okay, now, you know what you got to do to get this together. Start standing in front of your mirror, saying your affirmations, switch up your routine, things like that, and just try to work it out to, you know, just try to work through it to get yourself back to a place that you really like. So.
What you said.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because it was everything that you kind of sort of needed to say and or hear. So it's like, but I couldn't have said it any better myself, to be completely honest. So I'm not gonna try. So no, any final thoughts before we
You do deserve it if you work for it. If you need help, ask for it. Speak it, believe it, achieve it. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll leave you with my tattoo. Take every chance, drop every fear.
On my side of the playing field. Believe in yourself. Find your tribe. I say this I've been saying this for the past 2-3 weeks. Find your tribe. People oftentimes feel like the people that you grew up with are the people that you got to stay with, and that's not the case. I promise.
And don't be begging nobody to hang out with you.
Heck, that's another thing. Not like, value your time. Time is currency. I've been saying it for like forever and a day. Time is currency. If people don't value your time, take your time and invest it elsewhere. There I go. I'm good to go.
Period. It's like
well, this has been another episode of BluTalk. Of course, I am Cool Blue. This is
Lady Blue.
And actually, we about to switch things up. We about to have a couple of guests on. I'm not going to say who it is just yet, but it's some people that I've been waiting to get on because we haven't done guests, and it's something that we've been wanting to branch into. And within the upcoming months, you'll definitely see some folks in rotation, some people that I rock with, some people that she rock with, and it's going to be Cool Blue. But there you have it.
Well, we love y'all. We hope to see y'all next month for the next episode. And
like, comment, and subscribe, please. We trying to run them numbers up.
Yes, and thank you for all the new subscribers too. And I was responding back to comments, so y'all make sure y'all keep commenting.
Let her subscribe. Like, she responds back to the comments. I'm in there like this, and I'm like,
yeah. So if you ever see something where it say "Yes, girl" or something else, it's me. And I normally try to put dash Lady Blue. Or if fellow YouTubers that are females, if I'm commenting and saying you killed that outfit, it's from me. I promise, it's from me.
Thank you for bringing it up.
And
I'm not saying yes, girl. And because I'm like, I've been looking at this, I'm like, oh, I mean, granted, I get it, but
yeah.
I get it. All right, y'all, but I appreciate it as always. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for investing your time into us. Once again, I'm Cool Blue. This is Lady Blue.